I knew we were expecting the final Ahsoka series trailer any day now, but to my surprise, it was yesterday, and all I can say is, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Lighten up, Francis.
Okay, I'm calm. Before I continue, if you're trying to avoid the Ahsoka trailer as not to be spoiled, go away. Come back when you're ready. I'll be talking about potential spoilers for the Ahsoka series in this video. Got it? Good. Let's do this. The latest Ahsoka trailer released yesterday. Yep, yesterday. And the brilliant minds at Lucasfilm decided to do it while I was at work. No way of getting to my computer and no way of talking about it. But with the hype that surrounds this show, there are some surprises to be sure. So I really want to take my time and break this down properly. I haven't watched any other channel for their thoughts or breakdowns, so this is all me from the heart. So I'll go scene by scene and tell you what I see, and there are some surprises that I'm sure other people missed. And this may be long and detailed, so buckle up, bucko. But first, a quick word from our sponsor, me. Yeah, I pay the bills. I'm the sponsor. Hit the subscribe button and like the video to help me become the best YouTube channel around. Why? Because it's freaking Star Wars, baby, and you all deserve someone who works tirelessly to give you the best content. That means I work for you. So, go on and subscribe. With that out of the way, let's go to the most awesome Ahsoka trailer breakdown you'll ever see. Honestly, I don't know if it's the best, but look how long it took me to put it out there. I didn't want to rush it. Anyways, trailers are meant to be misleading. They aren't going to give away the secrets of the show, so keep that in mind as I go through this. I could be wrong on some things, but maybe not. The trailer opens with Baylan Skoll, played by the late Ray Stevenson, saying, "War is inevitable." The scene shows what looks to be a Republic-era shuttle approaching a Rebel or New Order transport. The same shuttle we get a millisecond look at as Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati, played by Ivana Sakno, begin to open a can of whoop-ass on the Rebel/New Republic officers standing arrogantly before them. Note the red color on the wings of the shuttle. So that makes me ask, when in time is this? If it's after the Galactic Civil War, why are they still using an outdated shuttle? But I presume it is after the Galactic Civil War. Look at the X-Wings off to the side. They're newer than the ones we saw in the Star Wars original trilogy, not dirty and scuffed up, but they're definitely the T-65 variant that we saw in the past, not the T-70s we saw in the sequel trilogy. Not that I would think they would jump that far ahead anyway, but the shuttle definitely has me thinking these two non-Jedi have been lurking for a while, or at least Baylan Skoll has. The duo then go on to decimate everyone in their path with utter ease. Then Baylan Skoll impales the poor officer and proclaims, "We are not Jedi." Notice the disdain in his voice, yet his face shows no emotion for the act he's committing. This guy is going to be something else, not Jedi, not Sith, but Ray Stevenson looks amazing in the part. The scene then cuts to Ahsoka Tano. She speaks of hearing whispers of Thrawn's return as heir to the Empire. We heard this in the first trailer we saw. It's a great callback to the original Thrawn novel that brought the Grand Admiral to the Star Wars universe, aptly titled Heir to the Empire. But look at that! Looks like a Will from the Clone Wars animated series. We first saw these beings when Yoda was learning the secrets of becoming a Force ghost. Large eyes, frowning mouth, possibly a Will? Is Ahsoka also learning the path to immortality? Maybe. If so, that likely won't be revealed in the 8-episode series, but it may be a clue to the future. Just a thought, and a wild one at that. Then we see Grand Admiral Thrawn's back again. I noticed this the first time we saw this scene. This isn't the Chimera helm he's approaching. It may not be the bridge to a ship at all. But if it is, it looks like what we could imagine a Chiss warship looking like. But it's curious that there are no other beings visible in the shot, and there is clearly a mountain just outside the large bubble-like viewport. But wait a minute. It's in the shape of an eye. It even has the iris and pupil. What if this isn't a ship at all, but another iteration of a Zepho war machine, or even a callback to the High Republic? Look at all the gold coloring. Yeah, I'm dissecting this as I go along. I told you I wanted to be as detailed as possible about it. But what if it is an eyeball? Curious. Okay, maybe the next scene goes back in time just a bit. We see Shin Hati and Baylan Skoll approaching Elsbeth Morgan, the magistrate from The Mandalorian Season 2. Yeah, she died. But I guess anyone can come back in Star Wars. We get a glimpse of a type of machine as Morgan Elsbeth hovers her hand over the center stone. Man, this reminds me so much of Zepho technology, I can't help it. Does that mean Morgan Elsbeth is force sensitive? Maybe she's in control of these two non-Jedi, or maybe she is just there to provide answers to Thrawn's whereabouts. It's obvious Baylan and Shin are looking for Thrawn. The ruins take me back to the Jedi Seeing Stone on Tython, only fancier. Remember that place? It's where Grogu called out for a Jedi to find him. Anyways, Shin Hati asks, what happens when we find Thrawn? To which Baylan answers, power, to which you've never dreamed. This doesn't seem like a fluid conversation. Not to mention, we've never known Thrawn as someone who exudes power. He's more of a cunning warrior than someone with power, such as a Jedi or a Sith. So this may be another misleading moment in a broken conversation. Shin Hati then enters the New Republic bridge, as we saw in the first trailer, and begins to make mincemeat out of the crew. Next up is a space scene where we see the same type of transport as in the opening scene of the trailer. Hera then explains that she's spent most of her life fighting a war, and we get a shot of her showing her piloting skills. And she tells the New Republic Council that fighting that war is why she's trying to convince them to help her to prevent another one. And if you've read Bloodline, then you know the New Republic had become pacifist. It also shows a hint of this in The Mandalorian Season 3. But in this scene, Mon Mothma looks troubled. Again, as if she wants to act, but she's overruled by the majority, not siding with another battle, as usual. Ahsoka then departs her ship along with Huyang, whom we saw in the Clone Wars helping Jedi younglings build the first lightsabers. I would imagine Huyang has a bigger part in the Ahsoka series than they are letting on. Hera then tells Ahsoka, you and I both know who could help you with this. And the scene flashes to Ahsoka's ship arriving on Lothal with Sabine watching. She then says, she's still as stubborn as ever. Sabine? Stubborn? Nah. Then there's something any Rebels fan will notice right away. The highway leading to and fro the city on Lothal, where everything in Star Wars Rebels begins. It's where Ezra Bridger and Kanan Jarrus officially had some of their first interactions. But did you know Lothal is a real place on Earth? Yeah, our own planet. It's in ancient ruins from approximately 4,500 years ago, and the word literally translates to Mound of the Dead. Fun fact. Sabine then has conversation with Ahsoka. She tells her that she never made anything easy on her, then calls her Master. Did they just reveal that Sabine is a Jedi in training? Who knows? That would be a wild twist. I think it would explain a lot why Kanan was so willing to teach her to use the Darksaber and so on and so forth. It would also make sense as to why Ahsoka says she walked away from Anakin just as she walked away from Sabine. She didn't mention walking away from Ezra Bridger when he needed her most after Kanan's death. It also shows that, as much as we love Ahsoka Tano, that she has a tendency to walk away from those who need her the most. Master and her apprentice, possibly. Anakin needed her, Ezra needed her, and apparently Sabine needed her. Ahsoka walked her own path when she left the Jedi Order and really stuck to the no attachments rule the Jedi Order had taught. We see that in the Clone Wars Season 7 when Anakin was excited to see Ahsoka, but she acted as if it were no big deal and she didn't think of it the way he did. Then we see the hollow projection of Ezra Bridger telling it Sabine, either through a recording or live action FaceTime, that as a Jedi, sometimes you have to make a decision that no one else can. And he's counting on her to see this through. Again, we don't know the context of what he's talking about. So much can be speculated from this. If he is still stuck in the unknown regions at this point without a way to get home, how did he send her this message or transmit anything to her? Couldn't he just tell her where he is? If it's a live chat, that is? That's why it seems more like a recording he left behind, unless this is after he's found and they just aren't together at the moment. Then there's Sabine cutting her hair and Ahsoka acknowledging it. Yay, she looks the way we remember her from Rebels. But this scene's interesting. Notice the viewport of the cockpit. It looks reminiscent of a Corellian YT freighter, similar to the interior of the Millennium Falcon. No, I'm not saying it is the Millennium Falcon. It's too new. Ahsoka then shows her slick moves against the new Inquisitor and its droid. Quickly, it shifts to Sabine approaching the wall she had painted of the original Ghost crew. It looks just as it did in animation. That's incredible. She touches the face of Ezra Bridger. Is there more affection there than we could have hoped for? We'll see. Next up, there's more aerial combat. Again, yay! What is Star Wars without it? It would be like having a Jedi without a lightsaber. Boom! There he is, Lars Mikkelsen as Grand Admiral Thrawn. He looks amazing with the glowing eyes and the black hair and whatnot. I know I'm not really saying much about all the dialogue going on, but dialogue is hard to decipher without context. But if you look at the background in this scene, there are designs that seem to match those of Zepho or High Republic Origins. And with Jedi Survivor combining both of those elements, it's hard to say that they won't incorporate these things in the Ahsoka series. The next scene has Ahsoka on the ground, almost panicked, and Shin Hati over her explaining that she, Sabine, has no power. This scene's interesting to me for two reasons. The first is that Shin Hati is definitely trying to put doubt in Sabine's mind of her own abilities, making her feel weak. I feel like these two are going to be rivals throughout the Ahsoka series, both in training and, of course, at odds. But the second reason, look closely. Shin Hati has a Padawan braid. We kind of figured Baylan Skoll was training her, but we didn't expect them to be carrying on a Jedi tradition. They say they aren't Jedi, and we know they aren't Sith, but to keep the tradition of a Padawan braid, very intriguing. Then they clash their lightsabers. This explains why we saw Sabine with the green lightsaber in the first trailer. Then there's the second mention of Anakin Skywalker. Baylan tells Ahsoka that Anakin spoke highly of her. That means he knew him. Aha! We've heard rumors that Hayden Christensen, yes, it's pronounced Christensen, not Christensen. I don't know why so many people get this wrong. Anyways, we've heard rumors that Hayden Christensen will be reprising his role as Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader. Those would have to be in a flashback sequence. During the time of the Ahsoka series, the main timeline, Anakin Skywalker returned to the light and died aboard the second Death Star 5 years earlier. But in true Jedi fashion, it appears Ahsoka ignites her lightsaber first against Baylan. Yes, I say true Jedi fashion because look at all the times Jedi ignited their lightsabers first, just before a duel. Maybe I'll make a video on that one day. The scenes then flash between explosions, space battles, and Ahsoka taking on the Inquisitor once again in a different setting. Not much can be learned from these scenes as they are quick jumps. Then the trailer ends. So what do you think? Did you enjoy the trailer? Did I show you something you or others may have missed? I'd love to know. With everything in this trailer, it's easy to see why this could be one of the best Star Wars series to arrive in modern times. From the eye that Thrawn is looking out of, to the mystical temple that Morgan Elsbeth and Baylan Skoll are visiting. August 23rd is too far away. I'm so hyped for the Ahsoka series that I can hardly contain myself. But before I go, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and leave a like for the video. It really does help my channel and the hard work I put into each video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Until the next video, this is Gerald, a Star Wars fanatic, signing off, wishing you all great health, happiness, and peace. May the Force be with you.